Good afternoon, everybody. This is our mic check. If you can see us, if you can hear us, give us a thumbs up so that we'll know everything is working properly. We will begin promptly at 3 o'clock. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carey Fauscett-Anderson. I'm the Public Information Officer for Dade County, and I want to welcome you to our weekly update. We have these every Thursday at 3 o'clock, and we have several guests today, so we'll get started quickly. Remember, if there's something you would like us to talk about, please email us at info@dadecounty-ga.gov, and thanks for coming to the right place for the right information. Today's guests are Christy Ballard with the Dade County Public Library, Tyrone Harps with the U.S. Census Bureau, Kathy Johnson, the Director of Dade County DFACS, Dr. Jan Harris, the Superintendent of Dade County Schools, and Dade County Executive Ted Rumley. If you know someone who would be interested in hearing from any of our guests today, go ahead and invite them to watch this live broadcast or start a watch party so you can hold your own discussion. Remember that you can also watch this later on Facebook or YouTube, and sharing the links to our videos is super easy. So without further ado, we will start with Christy Ballard with the library.
Hello, my name is Christy Ballard. I am the Youth Education Coordinator for the library here in Dade, and I started in March. I started working just a couple of days before we went into lockdown, so it's been a challenge to kind of navigate how we're doing things at the library, especially with summer reading, since we couldn't have live performances. But some of the things that we've been doing, I just wanted to talk about. The bingo cards. I know a lot of people have been doing the community bingo, and I just wanted to let you know, remind you that the deadline for that is the 18th at 2 p.m. to have all your cards turned in. We have a lot of gift cards to draw for, and we also have a mini nest, and so that needs to be turned in on the 18th by 2 p.m. For summer reading, we still have a few things going on, but you need to make sure that you're logging your books, and if you haven't logged any, you can still go back and log them in to win your tickets for your prizes. We do have a lot of really cool prizes, and the deadline for that is on July 19th at midnight. And if you haven't been logging your books, if you've just been keeping a paper log, you can bring that in and we can log them for you. It's not a problem. One of the fun things that we have coming up is we do have a partnership with the Creative Discovery Museum, and we have a class coming up on the 23rd. We had 25 spots reserved. The class is full. It's a class on renewable energy. It's for kids in the 5th through the 8th grade. That class is full, which is really great, but we're hoping to have a lot more partnership with them in the future. So keep an eye on that. We'll update you when we know more about that. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Harps. I am a partnership specialist with the United States Census. I bring you greetings to Dade County from the Atlanta Regional Office, which is the largest office in the U.S. We are responsible for making sure that over 26 million people participate in the census. We cover 7 different states, and it's our job to get out, network, and partnership with all of the counties and the municipalities to make sure that the state of Georgia is counted once, only once, and in the right place. So let's talk about Dade County right quick. I've been working with Dade County for several months now to try to get the count up. As of right now, the national average is 62%. The state of Georgia is 57.8%, and Dade County is at 50.1%. Trenton itself, the municipality in Dade, the county seat, is at 51.7%. So let's talk about what the census is and what it means to the state of Georgia and to Dade County. The census has been going on since 1790. It will continue to go on throughout all of our lifetimes. The census happens every 10 years. Every year that ends in a 0, there's a census number taken. The census is about 2 things and 2 things only. One of those is money and the other one is power. Both of those follow the numbers. So it's very important that we make sure that the state of Georgia and Dade County gets counted fairly. The federal government gives back over $675 billion per year, and it gives it back to the union based on the head count. And it's very important that the state of Georgia, Dade County, gets its fair share of this $675 billion. The current population as of 2019 for Dade County was just over 16,000. And in 2010, it was 16.5, and only 61% of Dade County participated in the 2010 decennial census. We want to make sure that we get that number up as high as we can, and that's why it takes all of us to make sure that Dade County gets counted once, only once, and counted fairly. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Kathy Johnson with the Dade County DFACS. I just wanted to give a quick report out that as of today, our DFACS offices across the state do remain closed to the public. That's to really try to help eliminate risk from public in our offices to staff and to the families and children that we serve. As far as food stamp, Medicaid, and TANF applications, we still have a box out front of our office where you can pick up the applications. You can fill those out, put them in our drop box, and that is checked daily. It's processed daily. And our case managers here in Dade County have continued to meet the SOP standards of processing the applications. They have started the verification process renewals again. So if you have any verifications that you need to drop off, you can either put that in our drop box or you can mail it to the P.O. Box 159, Trenton, Georgia. Also, our phone number that you can contact if you have any questions is 706-657-7511. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Jan Harris, Superintendent of Dade County Schools, and I'm here today to provide an update about the reopening of our schools on August the 7th, 2020. We're looking forward to seeing our children return to their schools, and we are offering 2 options for students in the fall. The first option is traditional school. That will be 5 days a week. We will be practicing social distancing, but we cannot guarantee that we will be able to maintain 6 feet at each classroom and in the hallway. We will be striving for 3 to 6 foot social distancing per student, but we cannot promise that. Many people have asked me, will the students be required to wear a mask? And the answer is no. And so we will have some changes, like the students will report directly to their classes and have breakfast in the classroom, which actually sounds like a lot of fun to me, like a picnic. And so we'll be having less class changes, no assemblies, no field trips, no visitors. We're going to simplify And, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be simple is to be great, or simplify, simplify, simplify. And Thoreau, I think, said to be simple is to be great. And so anyway, we're going to simplify schooling as much as we can, but still offer a traditional school setting 5 days a week, beginning on August the 7th. Now, if you are a student in Dade County Schools, all you have to do is show up. We'll be registering or updating registration, and you may be hearing from your counselor or principal. The second option we will offer is the Dade Virtual School. We've been searching for the most sophisticated, state-of-the-art technology to offer our deserving students an opportunity to continue their learning in an online platform. And we believe we have found that course management software. We'll be recommending the purchase of that software at the July 20th board meeting. This software will assist parents. 87% of our parents said they expect to bring their children back to traditional school, while 13% indicated their interest in a virtual school. But this online school will be much more helpful to the parents in terms of setting boundaries and time expectations, and that's something that, when surveyed, our teachers and our parents indicated that keeping a regular schedule and engaging with the school was a challenge. So we will be offering virtual school. I'm also getting a lot of questions about the buses. So I want everyone to know that we will be offering bus service, but it will look different. We will be requiring students to wear a shield or a mask if students ride the bus, because we cannot guarantee social distancing. So we will have to wear a mask on the bus. Riding the bus is a privilege, not a promise, and so we're going to have to just do whatever it takes to have transportation available. And 19% of our parents indicated, when surveyed, that they would not be using the bus for transportation for concerns about the virus. Additionally, I want everyone to know that we have been cleaning our buildings and undergoing training for the latest recommendations on sanitizing buildings. We've purchased state-of-the-art equipment. Our custodians have been in professional learning opportunities, and we have been purchasing PPE for our employees and for our students. And so those are some general highlights about our back to school. You can find this information on our website, and we are publishing all of that today, tomorrow, and Monday. We'll have everything up by about Monday. So I'll be pushing out a link via text to our parents for those who are interested in the virtual school option. So stay tuned, and I can promise you that we are working together as a team to deliver the best educational opportunities for our students here in Dade County. And we also are not working in isolation. We are working with the Governor's Office, the Department of Public Health, the Georgia Department of Education, our local health department, and local agencies. Like, we had a meeting last week with EMA Director Alex Case, and we will be working closely together as a team, and we appreciate your support and your flexibility. And if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me or to your principals or any of us at the county office. We'll be glad to help you. So we look forward to seeing our students on August the 7th. Thank you.
Good job, Dan. Good job. Appreciate everyone being here today, and speaking with us, and very informative meeting, especially on our census here. Good to have you here with us today. I know you spent a lot of time here trying to help us here in the county, but and I hope everyone out there is having a good day and had a good week. But we've got a few things here to talk about today that's happened since we last talked last week. We had some interest the other night at our commission meeting, quite a bit of interest about the Lookout Lake Dam project, and I'll give you an update on that. We have started the grubbing part of it, which is the seal fence down below the dam. We probably will not close the road until the middle of next week or the beginning of the following week because of material and all that's going to be brought in. There was concern about the water level from the community, and that is a concern, because we don't want to walk away from that and after we've lowered the dam and it'll be a mud hole there. Well, it's not going to be a mud hole. I'll tell you, we've got to lower the dam about 4 feet, or exactly 4 feet. The water level itself will be determined as we bring the water up to the actual Category 2 dam statistics, or actually the actual qualifications that brings it up to Category 2, and that will determine the depth of it. The least it will possibly be, or actually the most it will possibly be, would be about 3 foot and 8 inches. We hopefully that's not going to happen. We hope it'll be on that closer to what you're looking at right now. We know it'll probably be a little bit lower than it used to be, but we'll know more about that after we get everything and get the water level down to a point where we can do our grades on our spillway. So just bear with us on that, but we'll keep everyone up to date on that as it goes along. But the dam is not going to be, the water's not going to be 8 foot lower than what it is, and all. That's some of the things that were started out there, and it's nothing like that. So I feel a lot better about the whole thing now that we actually have got our plans approved and we see just where we stand at. So, but like I said, we'll keep everyone up to date on that, especially on the mountain there, because it's a lot of concern. We had also at our board meeting last week, we did have our first reading of our Sunday sales of the alcohol sales on Sunday. That was voted in by the voters at our election just a few weeks ago, and that's the first reading. We'll have our next reading at our next meeting coming up. We did discuss our millage rate schedule meetings. We've been working on our digest today. Got a lot of numbers together. The better part of the morning we've been working on this, and we'll let you know in next week's paper exactly how we go. We know there's not going to be a millage rate increase. That's one thing that I've mentioned that before, but the numbers, the way it looks and everything looks good. But we do have some growth, and that's going to be determined by the commissioners as to whether we accept that growth or not. Looks like we're going to be taking in approximately $189,000 more than we did last year, and that's not from a millage rate increase. That's from a reval that was taking place this past year, and for any new houses that's been built or any additions that's been or any improvements to your property. And but we're going to talk about that to see if we're going to accept the growth or not. And so we'll let you know in this next week as far as that goes. But as far as any millage rate increase, there's it looks good on that. So let's see, we do have a dislocated worker grant that we've been working on. That we actually working on through the Northwest Georgia Regional Commission. That's something that's very positive. We've got that. The actual Northwest Georgia Regional Commission has hired Paula Stallings, which actually worked for the school board for many years, and it's just a temporary job for her. But she has already been home, wants to get out, and I guess and get tired of looking at the walls, I say. But most people know her, and she's going to be working on that and helping people that may qualify for those jobs. And it's related to the COVID-19. If you've been displaced by that in any way, as far as your work pattern or anything, she will be working out of this building here. We're not sure where we're going to put Paula yet, but we're going to make her a place here where she can actually have a computer hub, phone, and all that. And if you think you may qualify or want to get more information on that, because Paula hasn't started yet, she's going to go into training Monday. I think most of next week she'll be into training there at Northwest Georgia Regional Commission in Rome. But we've got 2 numbers you can call. They're on our website. When you call this number, you need to ask for a lady named Lisa Lambert. She's director over that. and she'll be able to guide you, and you can actually pretty much get any answers you want from her, or she will find out for you. But the number is 706-936-0696. That's 706-936-0696. The other number, the secondary number, is 706-295-6485. 706-295-6485. Now, these are not, they're not permanent jobs. They're temporary jobs, but they could last, on the end, several months, until this grant runs out. But they would be, really, really good for people. People especially want to work local because they are local jobs here, and most of those jobs will be with the government, either a school or a county. So pretty interesting. Also, as I said, the information is on the website. I want to mention County Road 6 also. You travel that every day. We hope to start that really soon. We've got to get this dam under construction up here and get started on this thing, because we're under a timeline of 6 months on that. We've got about 5.5 months left to finish it, and so we want to get that really going, and we're going to pull some of our men off, and we'll get on County Road 6 up here and get started on it, because it's going to be a long project up there. We're going to have to go back down under the mountain there off the side, and we'll have to build a wall just like we did up on the other part of County Road 6. So it'll be shut down there probably, hopefully not any longer than a month. It's if weather works with us. So, but we'll of course let everyone know about that, and the radio and all that, and you'll know when we do shut that road down. But it's probably going to be another 2 or 3 weeks anyway before we do that. I want to thank everyone. The other night, I know we had the fireworks. A lot of our fireworks events were canceled. New Salem was canceled because of COVID, but there was a lot of really nice fireworks, and several sponsors. I know but there was a lot of people that actually, just personal people, that shot fireworks. I know one group down Back Valley there, they said they'd accumulated about $3,000 they put together and had a really nice display. So it was really nice, and I hope everyone had a really good 4th. The COVID-19, as far as the testing goes, we're still downstairs, and they're really busy. I mean, they've had more in the last week or so than I've seen since we started down there. The thing about it is they are changing their hours. They're been going like from 1 to 4, through the week. Now you've got here, they're going to start tomorrow at 9, from 9 to 1.
Well, every Friday's 9 to 1.
Okay, that's right. I forget. I thought today's Tuesday. What's wrong with me? But anyway, after this week, their new schedule will start on Monday, and they'll start at 8:30 in the morning, and they'll actually go through noon, through 12 o'clock. So and that'll be 5 days a week. So the whole scheduling is changed. So instead of 1 till 4, you'll have to get up pretty early in the morning and get your breakfast and come on over here. But it is it's really a fast process. There's not a lot to it. You got a little form you fill out. You stay in your car. And from now, this is a change. I didn't know this till yesterday. And Lamar Lowry, he actually was tested. He went through and was swabbed. He told me that they said his results would be back in like 7 to 10 days, I believe. So they've extended it evidently on the lab time. I know before they were letting people know 2 to 3 days, but anyway, it's extended a little longer, than that. So just expect that. And the way you actually find your results is different too. You have to go online. They were calling people, and they've changed that. So you have to go online, and they'll ask you for your web address and all, or your email, and they'll take care of it. If I left anything out, Carey? All right, I'm going to go into our numbers. I know a lot of people, they wait for that, and these are hot off the press, so these are up to date. We have increased in numbers since last week. We were at 67 the last time we talked. We're at 77 now. But the thing about it is, in reality, if you figure the antibody test that we have that you can take away from that, and also the people that Alex, he's real good at this about putting different things together as far as the time of the actual the date that you're actually notified and the 14-day period. If you do all that and do the math, we've actually only got about 12 people, maybe 13 people in reality in the county that has really actively got this right now. I don't know of any of those people right now that are in the hospital. Most all these people here are self-quarantined on the 14-day quarantine. So all in all, as far as Dade County and our size, especially being this close to Chattanooga, we're not really that bad. It's not a panicky thing because the 77, you got to think about it. It is from the day that we actually started this, back in, I guess it was March, wasn't it, Carey? Somewhere in March, So that they never take any of the numbers off. So that's what you got to realize, And so anyway, but Walker County, they were at 325. They went up to 363. Catoosa County, they went from 314 to 334. Chattooga, they went from 62 to 76. Whitfield County, they're at 1,000. They were at 1,152 people in Whitfield, and they're at 1,520 now. It's a pretty good increase there. Gordon County went from 399 to 470. Floyd County, they're at 539, and they're at 654 now. There's still 1,159 unknown counties, addresses that's not been related to the county or now out there. So that's still a lot of counties, and we could still have some of those in Dade. So far in Georgia, there's been 2,922 deaths. Last week, at the time we talked, it was 2,827. So that is an increase there. Totally in Georgia, since March or since this started, we've had 12,500 people hospitalizations. That's actually been, bad enough to go to the hospital. Tennessee's a little different here. They do give us some recovery rates that you can actually look at. I've said that many times, but I wish that the other two states here, Alabama and Georgia, did this, but they do not, the way they're set up. But Hamilton County, they went from 2,758 in Hamilton County to 3,319 as we speak. But they've got 1,950 people that have recovered and back to everyday life, back to work. They've had 36 deaths in Hamilton County from COVID. Marion County, they were at 76 last week, and Marion County right now, they have exactly 100 people. They have 53 recoveries, and they've had 4 deaths there in Marion County. Grundy County, they went from, they're at 65. They went from 72 to 65. Backwards. That's backwards. Sorry, 65 to 72. Yeah, it's hard to find good help these days. I know, you wrote that down. So they were at 65 last week, and they're at 72 now. Now they've had 49 recoveries in that county, and they've had 2 deaths. Sequatchie County, they went from 37 to 55. They've had 27 recoveries. Meads County, they went from 46 to 48. They have 27 recovered. Bradley County, 636 last week. Man, they've got 977 numbered today. That's quite an increase. But they've had 436 recoveries and had 4 deaths. Totally in Tennessee, they've had 685 deaths. That's up from 609 last week, compared to Georgia's 2,922 deaths. It's a big difference. Big difference. Go down to Jackson County, Alabama, which is one of our neighbors also. They've went from 252 to 374 today. DeKalb County, which is our neighbor, they've went from 641 to 841 in DeKalb County. Jackson County had 2 deaths, and DeKalb County has had 6 deceased. It's amazing. That's quite a jump. In fact, DeKalb County, they've had 341 cases reported in the last 14 days. Jackson County is 189 cases in the last 14 days. So that's quite a jump. Just try to keep wearing your mask and do your social distancing, especially if you're in crowds. If you're at a wedding, a funeral, or a church, or even a grocery store. Just try to remember to put your mask on. It's been proven by the CDC. They recommend that because it is a way that you can take part into fighting this thing. Numbers are not going down by far; they're increasing. And like I said, if it gets in Dade County, if it really starts changing tremendously, we'll go back to the everyday reporting of this. But right now, we're kind of holding our own. If you really look at real numbers, And there's a reason for that. I think, a lot of you are listening. A lot of you are trying to follow the rules, and so it's appreciated. Not only appreciated by us, but it's appreciated the person that you go by that sees you with that mask on, because you're protecting both of you. But anyway, my number is 423-667-8999, and as all of you know, you can call 24/7. I do answer my phone, and all of our commissioners the same way. They appreciate our support that we've had and we do have here, and just call us if you can find out anything, or if we don't have the answer, we'll find it out for you. And if we don't have it, I guarantee you, Carey, she's got it right there on that computer. So I'll turn it back over to you, Carey, if you want to. Are you over? Okay. We got any questions or anything?
We did have one question. It actually came from our KWIN interview earlier today. Yep. Someone asked if it's about Lookout Dam, and they said if Lookout Dam is a privately owned dam, why is the county paying money to
fix that?
Not.
We own the dam.
Oh, you own
We just don't own the water. Larry Moore owns the water.
The lake.
That ownership became real back in the 60s when Dan Hall, which was the sole commissioner here, and Mr. Moore's dad, Sherman Moore, they actually did the deal, and Mr. Moore or Mr. Hall absorbed that property there to make that road, tie into the main road to make the loop. And so, when this first started, that was my first, thought was, well, we can just, dig down, breach the dam, put a pipe in there, and just let the water flow through. In fact, that's what Safe Dams came in right up back in 2004. And was kind of a recommendation, but we found out they wouldn't let us do that. We would have to go and breach the dam if we did that, and they had a design of this big, massive box culvert that would have to go down there. It would have to be made, and what we're doing right now is is a lot less money than actually digging that dam out and building and putting it back and doing away with the lake. In fact, it's a lot different as far as money goes. But the other choice was to actually build a new dam there and reserve the lake for about, well, it was almost $2 million is what the estimate was. We had several bids back then. So that was not feasible either. So what we're doing right now is the best for everyone. We're maintaining the lake. The water level may be a little lower, but it might not be, but at least you're going to have your lake. The dam will be back down to a Category 2 dam. It's still going to belong to the county because that's county road goes across it, and it's our responsibility. And then the spillway itself and everything will be the government specs. It'll be there forever, hopefully. So, we're just doing what we're ordered to do by the state of Georgia. We're going right by the guidelines. And have we just say we said, well, we're just not going to do anything. The road's okay, the dam's okay. We're not going. Well, that's something that if you do that, and we were fined back in 2005. Mr. Brandon, he actually kind of said that. He said, well, look, what are you going to do? Well, wound up we paid right at $8,000 fine, and he did wind up paying it, because what happens is they not only fine you, but when you come into a direct order like that from the state of Georgia, and you refuse to do that, and you become what you call non-compliant with the state law, then your money from the state and federal, they shut it off. They can shut you off from your sales tax draw or anything that you draw monthly automatically. And so that's where they've got your county, or where they've got your little governments. So that don't happen. You can't let that happen. So anyway, so we went ahead and paid the fine and got the engineers to start the drawings and start the process. And that's where we're at today, is they finally have got these things approved, and they've given us 6 months, like I said, deadline to actually do that. If not, and say we didn't finish that in 6 months, then the initial fine would be $500 a day. It would be increased to $2,500 up to $2,500 a day for every day that we lack being finished or being in compliant with the state. So it's don't sound like a big deal, but it isn't. I don't agree with that either. I mean, we're damming water up for a private lake that you have to pay to fish in, but our concern is the dam, and our concern is not only the dam, but to do it, the most feasible way and that we can with our tax dollars that's paying it. And so, it's just the way it is. So I don't know whether that made any sense or not, but that's where we stand at. But if you got any questions, whoever asks a question wants to talk to me about it, or come down, I'll show you all these drawings we've been going through. Call me on my cell phone or here in the office. I'm here most of the time. Any other questions? All right, we'll talk to you. We'll be back next Thursday, and just try to stay safe and wear your mask.